Now, you all, this has been my third or fourth time doing this video, only because I feel like I have missed some things in my other iterations of the video about the movie that I just seen, the incredible cinematography that I've seen, and that goes to Ryan Coogler and his team, Michael B. Jordan, and the rest of the cast, Haley Steinfeld, Delroy Lindo, and Preacher Boy. I forgot some names. I apologize, but I've seen this movie the day after it has been released to the world. So the 19th, and it is the 21st. So it took me 2 days to grasp my thoughts. So I'm going to be a little bit sporadic, but it's all going to make sense towards the end of the video. So I'm going to start off with what the movie is about, and then I'm going to go into some things that are deeper meaning of the video. First things first. So we have two set of twins, right? Smoke and Stack, or Stack and Smoke, however you want to put them. Two very distinct, different viewpoints and ideologies of the two. Stack is the more naive, believe in everything twin, and then Stack is the one that is more stern and more aware, more cognizant, more hesitant of his surroundings and situations. But that's due to probably him being in the military, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. He had to protect his brother from his dad's abusive situation. But these two twins are coming back to their hometown in Barksdale, Mississippi. Right, they're from there. Went to Chicago with L.A. Capone. It was referenced in the movie because of the time period. You know, you have everything has to line up. So what was going on outside of the black demographic? There was another life outside of Mississippi, right? Yeah, Chicago, which they were at. And they came back to set up this juke joint situation. However, the juke joint got messed up. But before we get to that point, it's also about their little cousin, Preacher Boy. And he's going to be co-headlining the juke joint. So they have to go to the market or the area, the town, to grasp or get items that will make a party good. Booze, a sign for the front and the back, people, so on and so forth. So two set of twins, Stack and Smoke, getting this juke joint. Getting all the people they see, surrounding people that they might need. Delroy Lindo is a part of that. He was a pianist for the show, and Preacher Boy, which is their little cousin, and they gifted him an item, and they didn't know he can sing, but they knew he can play the guitar because they gifted him the guitar. Now Stack lied to him and said that it was from this heavy hitter, well-known guy, but it turned out that it was their dad's guitar. But neither here nor there. So they're in this juke joint, right? And they're accompanied by some unwanted people, those being vampires. I forgot the fellow's name, but he's the head honcho of the juke joint. I mean, the head honcho of the vampire. Sorry, excuse me, I misspoke. But that's where the discrepancy comes in at. And since from that point, that's the story. You got two set of twins, want to get a juke joint going on to recoup some money that they have lost from Chicago. And there's your story. But it's a story set in the Jim Crow era, the 1920s, in Barksdale, Mississippi. But this story has so much more to offer. It's not just about vampires. It's about redemption. It's about the duality between good and evil. We're all sinners, because if we weren't sinners, we'll be God, which we're not. We know when right is wrong, or we know when wrong is wrong, or right is right when wrong is wrong. But sometimes we go the deep end and we still continue to choose the wrong path. Hence the name of the movie, Sinners. The first opening scene and the environment reminded me of my great-grandmother's house or area in Uniontown, Alabama. Some of the same things that you see in the film, whether it's like buildings, whether it's the aesthetic, the smell, because you get a sensory overload in the movie, because we've all had a family member that lived in so and so and so and so, and it kind of aligned with what the movie gave by Ryan Coogler, which is also like a head nod to, to the deeper, rich history of African Americans. Which you have sharecroppers in this. You have they hint towards the KKK, but it's not really a focal point in the movie. That's one aspect of it. Music is a heavy component in this movie. It's a character in the movie as well. You have different eras and music and blues, and the different eras also come from when Preacher Boy is called upon to tell people who he is, what he can do, and then from that point on, he wowed the crowd enough to where they were hooping and hollering in a good way, dancing, drinking, having a good time in their juke joint. For those of you who don't know what a juke joint is, a juke joint was a club for Black and African American people to celebrate, to drink, to have a good time with their loved ones or friends or whatever the case is. That was very prominent in around that time. Ryan Coogler did something that was so amazing that that I don't think a lot of films have done. It was different iterations of different eras of music intertwined into one interior scene. You have Preacher Boy, who was singing and performing in a way that around that era. Then he intertwined, he gave cultural appreciation to the Asians and their ancestral lineage. Then you have him doing stuff for our lineage, African Americans. Please forgive me if I'm going to misspeak about how the pronunciation is, but Zuali. If you go back and look at the movie, they have a fire scene where somebody's in a mask and they're fully clothed and they're in the ritual dance. That was cool to see that. And he intertwined LA, Ryan Coogler is from Oakland, so it only makes sense. He did the Crips and the Bloods. It was just an amazing feeling. And to be glued to the entire film without going to the bathroom at this point, because I did go to the bathroom, but I was so pissed I had to run to the bathroom, come back, sit down, and ask my friend who I was with. So it was definitely pretty good. Yeah. What else about the film do I really, really enjoy? Oh, if we're going back into that, speaking about the interior design of the juke joint that they were headlining, there's a photograph of the same situation that my grandmother has in her house that I'm pretty sure everybody has seen floating around the internet. It's a still, but they were doing the same exact movements in the movie that's in the photo. Now, mind you, that photograph was 30 something odd years old. You know what I'm talking about. I might implement that in the video, but it's crazy how we could recall something from so long ago, implement it in today's time, and then it's a conversational piece going forward after you see the film. And that's what Ryan Coogler did for me. He made this movie a conversational piece so we could talk about it for years and generations and generations and generations. This should also be studied within schools, I do believe, too, but I digress. This movie for me, again, was a masterpiece of cinematography, storytelling, musical components, everything. The duality of the film centers, there's a good and an evil, like I said before, prior to. It's a very distinct level of brotherhood between Smoke and Stack. Oddly enough, Stack was the one, if I remember correctly, was the one that lived. Smoke is the one that we didn't see him die on screen, but he's the one that passed away. The more stern and X, Y, and Z. It's a point in the movie where they're at the juke joint and they're inviting people in, and Stack was so prominent and prevalent on letting the guy in because he had short change, and then Smoke saw that, and then he was pretty much alluding to the fact of, I don't care, we're doing this for cash money. This isn't like a charity home, is what I think he said. I'm paraphrasing, but it's just little minute situations. It's like, oh, that's your brother. Oh, that's how he is. Oh, maybe that's why he did that. But it comes at cost to being the good guy sometimes. It comes at cost to being the bad guy sometimes. But I do think it's a full circle moment in the film because in the end, in the post credit scene, he had every chance to kill Preacher Boy. Stack did every chance to kill, but that was his brother. That was it. That was Smoke's wish to not kill him. But here's my thing though, right? Why Ryan Coogler did it, but when there's monsters, and he humanized these characters, even if they're doing wrong things, right? But to me, wouldn't you think monsters and everything wouldn't have a conscience of their actions or any repercussions of their actions? That's just me. But it was a good thing to see that he let Sammy live. Because Sammy said he didn't seem life. So that was a pretty cool thing. I'm just curious if I can ask Ryan Coogler what his motive was for Stack not to kill Sammy when he had every opportunity to do it. Why he chose that path and why he didn't go another path to want to do that. Maybe he's setting up for a spinoff, maybe a TV show. I don't know, but that was a full circle moment for it throughout the film, in the film, X, Y, Z. But yeah, man, it was such a biblical situation, spiritual situation. Even if, peep this, right? So this story is told from a black man's perspective, right? But he intertwined all of these situations that either I've been told, a family friend has been told, a cousin, an aunt, whatever the case is. Everybody, when we're growing up, they tell us, they teach us some of the same stuff that was in the movie, like coming home before the streetlights come on, or getting home before dark, or always grouping up, or not letting everybody into your space, knowing who you're around, what you're putting into your body, whether that's a beverage or lyric or song or whatever the case is. Be cognizant and be on your stuff when it comes to what you're letting into your temple. Case in point, one of the I think the earlier stages in the movie or close to the middle. There's Native Americans coming to talk to this white woman who later becomes a vampire, right? They told her, you may not know who's in there, or has he been there, or has he came through the house, and they're letting her know what's going on, and she still is oblivious to the situation, like other white people are, which they need to wake up sometimes. They just be inviting everybody into the household, but it is what it is. But my mom always told me too, just be careful who you hang around. So that was cool. I think if I'm not mistaken, there's a thing called sundown towns where things get bad at night and things are good when the sun is up. That's like a callback to Lovecraft Country, which one of the actors in this film is that's Smoke's fiance, wife, girlfriend, whatever the case you want to call it. She was in that, and that was a good callback to that. And just another part of our history, like you don't want to be out too late because you don't know what's going to happen to you at nighttime, So, it was good, man. I have some notes that I want to tackle. I shouldn't be doing this, but I am. Something else that I caught myself doing was like a callback to the Clumps when he was like, the roof is on fire, right? Sammy tore the house down when he started playing. That's why you see the flames coming up because his musical aspect, the way he sung, played the instrument, and got everybody to gravitate towards him, was like him saying to them, I'm here. I actually can do this, and X, Y, and Z. So that was good. My mom always told me about be careful what you listen to as far as lyrics and stuff goes. So it's a thing being told about music being a chant, and that's what that was in the movie for certain points of time. Preferably when the head honcho of the vampires, I forgot what his name is, he was singing Irish music. And they were all singing along and doing the same steps and dances that they would do if you were listening to that over there in their country. That was interesting to see. Yeah, man, that's really pretty much it. If I had to rate it, I would give this an A+ score, a masterpiece of storytelling, like I just said in the earlier video. But I would like to go see this again to see if I catch anything else. But again, one of the biggest things that we have to understand is we're not one-dimensional people. That's just not. We have many different layers of who we are that some people don't know. We still sin, which is okay. I mean, it's not okay, but if you just talk to God sometimes, man, or all the time, pray about it. Think before you do. That's the biggest takeaway that I could give away, because everything has a action behind it. Either you're going to have a positive reinforcement behind a positive action, or a negative connotation or action behind something you do bad. So again, Sinners, if you haven't seen it, go out to the movies to see it. Bring a friend, bring 2 friends, bring your family. Go see it by yourself. Even go see it multiple times. We have to show out and show love and support to Ryan Coogler, his team, his cast, the director of photography for the film, which is a woman. Shouts out to her. Yeah, man, I want to go see this again. Sinners was a great experience, to say the least. Yeah, to say the least. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. I can't wait to go see it again. Also, too, side note, everybody is not welcomed to the cookout. Let's stop doing that. You want to know why you need to stop doing that? Because if you go see Sinners, it's the same reason. Had Stack would have left Haley Steinfeld alone, we probably wouldn't be in this situation. Black man, white woman. Does history repeat itself? Kinda, because you get messed up in the process yet again. So, little comedic relief. But yeah, man, every actor's performances in this movie was great, top to bottom. I don't have any gripes, any mishaps, any thoughts. Could have did that better. No, everybody was on point. And for Sammy, the actor, I heard that this was his first role. Man, kudos to you, bro. Kudos to you. You did an amazing, hell of a job for this being your first role. Trust me, bro. You will definitely be in the conversations to do more films, TV shows, more exposure. Trust me, you'll do that. Michael B. Jordan, fantastic job. Dara Lindo, class act. Kudos to you, bro. Wunmi Masaku, she did a hell of a job. Hell of a job. Yeah, it was a really good movie, man. I don't have anything else to say besides the fact of go see it. Let me know in the comments what you think about it. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Was it meh? Was it Was it, I need to go see it again? Let me know in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, whatever you need to do. I'm out. Thank you guys again.